Thank you so much for joining us on Get Your Day Started today. I am so happy that you are already online, ready to listen to what we have to share this morning. For those who are joining us for the very first time, this is Get Your Day Started, a program where we open you up to discovering your person and to also become the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for joining us. Please send this link across to your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, and your acquaintances to partake of this program this morning. It's going to be an exciting time. Our capacity is what determines our level of reach. It is what determines our spread of impact, our domain of control, our extent of influence, our speed and rate of growth is what determines our frequency of returns on our investment, is what determines our bigness or our smallness, is what determines whether we are global or we are local, is what determines whether we are ordinary or we are extraordinary. Our capacity is what sets limits on our destiny. We said it does not matter how good your ability is, if your capacity is not enhanced, you won't become the best version of yourself. We said quite a lot of times that why do you want to become 100 when you can become 1 million? Why do you intend to reach out to 10 people when you can reach out to 1 million people? We said often that nobody needs your gift in heaven. No matter what you are doing on earth, no matter how well you do it on earth, nobody needs your gift in heaven. So it's better to die empty and live full. Become all that you can become. If you can become a professor, why end up as a doctor? Why end up with a master's degree? What will it cost you? If you can become somebody who is known all across the world, why do you want to end up being known in your community or in your locality alone? So I want you to get set for a great adventure and begin to think about developing your capacity, that I can be greater than this, I can be more than this. Jesus was born in a manger, but his fame went beyond the manger, because in every seed there is a tree. But the unfortunate thing is that so many seeds were not given the opportunity to become trees. So there is a tree inside of you, there is a greatness inside of you, just like Eleanor Roosevelt said that what lies ahead of you, what lies behind you is tiny compared to what lies inside of you. What lies inside of us is very great. What lies inside of us is what the whole world cannot consume. What lies inside of us is solution to generations. But why are we going to deny ourselves the opportunity and privilege of being known across the world? Look at somebody like Joseph. Maybe Joseph would have died as a dreamer inside his house with a lot of mocking, with a lot of abuse, with a lot of temptations and all that. But Joseph took up the responsibility and he became a national hero. Who would ever imagine that somebody with a dream, just by interpreting dream, will be able to become a national hero, will become an economic advisor, will become a consultant? Who will ever imagine that Solomon, just a small child, will also become somebody who will be known all across the world? But because he was able to identify what he has inside of him and maximize it to the fullest. And that's why you also will have to sit down with your capacity. University system, academic system, wherever system where you are, business school, cannot actually determine the size of what you have inside of you. It's just like a small bomb that is packaged. You know, when you package a bomb, don't play with a bomb because it's small, because its effect can be very, very great. Just like a small bomb can level down a whole community because of what is loaded inside. The same thing applies to you. There is something loaded inside of you that is going to happen somewhere. There is something great inside of you that is going to happen. What is happening to many of us is because we are frustrated, we are disappointed, we are not happy because we are not given expression to what we carry inside of us. But let me tell you this, the good news is this: your parents may miss by mistake, you may be an accidental release according to your parent, but I want to tell you this: God did not release you accidentally. You are a deliberate release from God to provide solution to some challenges that are on the surface of the earth. And those challenges are not local one, they are global one. You can start local, but you are not meant to end local. Everything you carry inside of you is a solution to a problem of somebody, and many people are yearning for that solution. You see, capacity development, what it helps you to do is that it helps you to deliver your best to many people. Deliver your best to many people. You can talk. You are not talking only to your community, you are talking to the whole world. That is what capacity development. You can sew a cloth. You are not sewing to one person alone, you are sewing to millions of people at the same time. You can fix a car. You are not just fixing one person's car, based on your ability and your precision and your accuracy and how good, how professional you are, but you are doing that to millions of people at the same time using the same energy. That is what we call capacity development. That's the benefit of capacity development. We mentioned quite a lot of benefits of those of capacity development. That one of them is that you become a peak performer, that you are able to become the best version of yourself. Also, you have a greater reach, then you have huge financial returns. Let me tell you this: you cannot rise beyond your capacity. It sets limits, it sets a zeal upon your life. Now, we said yesterday, we mentioned 2 ways by which you can develop your capacity. We said, number 1, you must identify your goal. What are your goals? What are your vision? What are your targets? That is, you must determine the area where you want to develop capacity. You can't develop capacity in all areas. You can't be jack of all trades. That is actually impossible. But you can determine areas that is in line with your governing values, areas that are in line with your passion, areas that are in line with your giftings, areas that are in line with your temperament. You can determine those areas because you feel at home in those areas. My own definition of success is doing what you like to do and somebody is paying you to do it. So if you can identify those areas that are in line with what you like to do, then you begin to develop yourself in those areas. Even Paul told Timothy that you should find the gift of God to flame that is in him by the laying of his hands. Somebody can lay hands on you, but the truth is this: the transference of that grace to other people is a function of your responsibility, and that's where you need to do something about what you carry inside of you to be able to reach out to many other people. Remember the advice that Moses gave to Jethro gave to Moses, the father-in-law of Moses gave to him. He said, if he continues the way he's doing, he's carrying out his assignment, he's dissipating his wisdom, if he continues that way, he will soon die before his time. Many people are living 10 years in 1 year, while some people are living 1 year in 10 years. I believe you get that. Some people are living 10 years in 1 year, while some people are living 1 year in 10 years, which means what others do in 20 years, they do it within 1 year. And some people, what others do within 1 year, they spread it over to 20 years. The achievement that others get in 20 years, some people get it within 1 year. And they have such multiple years. So some people are not just living 70 years. Some people are living 700 years because the impact they are making, their millennial impact, their impact that are generational, that in the next 1,000 years people have not recovered from it. It means they even live after they are dead. That is the kind of life I want to. That's the effect of living full, because what we carry inside of us is not what a generation can exhaust. It's so big that a generation cannot exhaust it. So I don't know where you are presently now, it does not matter, but what you have inside of you has not changed. Just the same way you until a 20 naira note is torn. If it's not torn and it's still roughened, I want to tell you, it still carry the same value, you still get the same product in the market. Likewise, you, no matter the situation, no matter what you have gone through, you still have the same value. There is still the same deposit inside of you that is going to be valuable to the world, that is going to solve the problems and challenges of the world. So you must identify that area. That area may be as a result, or maybe when you were a child, you identified that area that you wanted to be a solution to problems. Some of you wanted to be a medical doctor even while you were young, and you want to solve a lot of problems. You want to solve cancer problem, and you want to solve it at a global level. Do you know there are individuals who are born to solve cancer problems, but what they are only doing that and providing solution in that area in a local hospital. But what they have is a global solution. People, they know God designed them so that others will travel from all across the world to go and begin to look at what they do and begin to enjoy the solution they are providing. So you must identify, what area am I good at? What area do I have passion towards? What area is in line with my gift? And begin to look at that area. And for some of you who are already working in a particular organization or the other, you have to look at, what else can I do to become better, or what area can I be a professional in that particular office? What else can I do better in that particular office? What other way can I do things better in that particular office? Remember, you may not be recognized when you start, but let me tell you this: if you stay on that course for a long time, it is very possible that when you come to the limelight, you will be recognized. If you stay on that field, for example, I can tell you that I've been on this field of vision discovery for quite some years now. So, but I don't need to pick a book to tell you something about vision, because I've made errors when it comes to helping people, and I've learned from those errors. I've read quite a lot of books, I've read quite a lot of literatures talking about it, and I've seen errors from a lot of people. I have seen gaps that those books have not been able to fill, and I try to provide solution to that. That's why, over years, for example, in the next 5 years, I will not be the same. Just like it is said that you will not be the same in the next 5 years, except for two things: the people you meet and the book you read. So the more you develop your capacity, you are not the same. I wasn't the same person you saw last 5 years. If you saw me 5 years ago, I wasn't the same person, because some things had changed about me. My structure may not change, but my value has changed. What I carry inside has changed, because I daily consume whether things. Remember, I mentioned 3 areas where you can develop capacity. I said spiritual, I said physical, and I said mental. So some things has changed. Some things may not change physically. Of course, I'm growing by the day, of course. But 2, something has changed mentally. Something has also changed spiritually. So number 2, we said we should identify the price you are going to pay for whatever you want to become. Capacity development requires price. And remember, life, anything you want in life, any product you want in life, joy, peace, happiness, greatness, success, all of them has price tag. If you can pay the price tag, you can get whatever you want. Remember what Brian Tracy said: there is nothing in life like something for nothing. Everything has a price tag for it. There's no free meal anywhere. Somebody is paying for it. So everything has a price tag. If you can pay the price, you can get the product. And number 3, today we look at what you need to draw your plan. What are your plans? That is, what are the steps you need to take to develop your capacity. It's not enough to know that you need to develop capacity. You have to draw a plan, an actionable plan that will help you to pay this price. It's not enough to have it. Remember, your goal is just a wish without an actionable plan. Your goal, which is horses, beggars will ride on it. So it's not enough to have resolution. It's not enough to be determined to develop your capacity. It is very, very, very important to have actionable plans that can be integrated into your daily routine, that can be integrated into your goals. So you have to determine, after you have identified the area, you have identified the price you are going to pay, draw a plan that will help you in fulfillment of these goals. So what are your plans? How do you draw the plans? Now, after you have identified the goal, I want to become the best stylist in town. So what are the price to pay? I have to learn, I have to know who are the people trending in that line. What are they doing? You identify things that they are doing. If what they do is that they read books, you have to identify how to read books also, maybe on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. If what they do is that they attend conference, you have to draw plans to attend conference within the year. If what they do is that they watch movies, which I don't think is almost gonna work, you also have to do whatever you can do to integrate such things into your plan, so that you can see. For example, somebody say watch movie. How would watching movie help somebody who is a stylist? When you watch movie, you see a lot of styles there without even buying a calendar. A lot of styles that are reasonable that you can engage as a stylist there. So you have to draw plans on what to do, plans on actions to take. You have to put it in your daily routines, and you have to engage in those plans. It's not enough to have great plans. It is important to begin to implement those great plans. Great plans doesn't make great men. Engaged plan is what makes great men. So what are the steps you have to take to implement the price you are going to pay? And number 4, where we're going to stop today, is that you have to locate a mentor and a coach. I tell people this: when you have a mentor or a coach and you are tied to them, what happens to you is this: it's either you are moving at their pace or you are suffering from injury. It's either you are moving at their pace or you are suffering from injury, especially when you have one that is moving. If you are tied to a particular car, for example, you are tied to a car and the car is moving at 10 kilometers per hour. So if you are not ready to move with that car, the car will definitely be dragging you and you can definitely suffer some bruises. But if you wake up, by the time you are dragged for some moment, you will wake up and then you don't have any option than to compromise that is to align with the speed of the car. Likewise, that's what happens to you when you walk with a mentor that is progressive, that is dynamic. When they move, any move they make challenges you, and then it gives you courage, boldness, confidence, self-concept about yourself to begin to move at their pace. Remember, I told you one thing, that if you see a giant move, the only thing you need to do is to put your leg where the giant puts his leg last. Just be following the footprint of that giant. Let me tell you this, at the end of the day, you will get to the same destination that the giant gets to. But by your experience of moving with the giant, you can now study the science and the model by which the giant moves. So you can move further than the giants, because you can see well the way the giant moves. So you must identify a mentor, a coach that you can interact with consistently. There are times that we want to make some moves that we only need somebody to say, yes, that is correct, or yes, what you are doing is right, for us to actually make great moves. So at times you need people like that around you, people who believe in what you carry, people who respect your opinion, people celebrate the grace upon your life. You have to identify them and apply to them. You have to introduce yourself to them. Let me tell you this, it's possible that the person that is your mentor or that is your coach is younger than you. It doesn't matter. Remember, experience in life is frequencies of victories over challenges. It's not age. It's frequency of victories over challenges. Why did I say that? Somebody can be in a field for 20 years and not have as much experience like somebody who is in that field for 5 years. What do I mean? For example, somebody in the field for 5 years who is consistent in facing challenges in that field. For example, somebody in 20 years may face a particular challenge, maybe 100 different challenges, and somebody within 5 years face 1,000 challenges. Who do you think will be more experienced? The person who faced the highest number of challenges and has victories over those challenges. That's why I define experience as frequencies of victories over challenges of life. So it's not about age. So somebody who is younger than you may have enough frequencies of victories over what you are going through and can be your mentor in that area. That is, can shed light on what you are going through, can guide you and counsel you on what you need to do to become better. Great people in the world it's not a function of age. As much as the richest man in the world is not the oldest man in the world. Elon Musk is not the oldest man in the world. There are young individuals like Mark Zuckerberg, who is in their 40s, early 40s, who are maybe number 5, number 6 richest man in the world. Whereas there are people who are 70, 80 years old or thereabout, who are lesser than him. So it's not success in life, greatness is not in life. It's not about age. It's about frequencies of victories. It's about what you are able to confront, what you are able to face, and how you have had victories over those things. So it is very important for you to identify a mentor in your area. Remember, there are differences between role model, mentor, coach, counselors, and all that. We'll study that in some other classes, but I need you to get somebody that you can always interact with. The person may be your mentor through books, but I want to encourage you, it's better to have somebody around you. It may not be your number one mentor, but at least somebody who can counsel you, somebody who can advise you, somebody who can give you a drive. I like this story as I begin to close now. I like this story that was shared by one of my mentors of a man who is going to celebrate his wealth. And, he's in a community, and he called everybody in the community that they should join him in celebrating his wealth. And he has an intention of giving out his only child in marriage. And what are the conditions? He highlighted the conditions to them. Number one, the person has to swim through the alligator pool. He has an alligator pool. You can imagine rich people, they can do strange things. He has an alligator pool at the back of his yard, a big compound. Then he said anybody who can swim through that alligator pool, the person will be the person who can make any request. Number one, the request is that you can marry the daughter, and number two, the person can pick any of his massive properties or companies anywhere across the world. But before he completed that statement, we just heard that a man jumped inside the pool. Now, the man was struggling for his life. Of course, everybody can see it with the splash of water and all that. At the end of it, the man made it to the other side of the pool, and as quickly the man got out of the pool. So everybody was celebrating, all the ovation, the clap and all that, but the man wasn't listening to any of them, and he wasn't happy when he got out of the water. Everybody was expecting that he would be joyful, jumping and all that, but he didn't. He was very angry. His face was an expression of somebody who is going to vent anger on somebody. And the owner of the property, the rich man, approached him and congratulating him and said, "Young man, congratulations. What do you want? Is it my daughter?" And in marriage, of course, you know what that means. If you have the slave, you have the property. So if you have the daughter, I'm not saying the daughter is a slave, but if you have the daughter, you know you have a lot of properties to you. And also, he said, you can also pick any of my The guy said, I didn't want anything. He said, the only thing I want is I want to know who pushed me inside the water. So we all need somebody to push us inside the water, to drive us, to motivate us, to encourage us, to force us to do things that we don't want to do, but it's good for us. We need somebody who will have a second thought on some of the issues, not cynical thought, but second thought on some of the issues of life that we go through. Life is so busy for you to go through it alone. Of course, if you want to go have a mentor via books, you have to read a lot of their books to have a lot of their hearts. So you have to do a lot of this. There are processes by which you select a mentor. If you have identified one as a believer, maybe you have prayed over it. The next thing is to approach the person. If you approach the person, you must be ready to obey the laws and the rules that the person presents to you and follow closely and keenly. In my years of mentorship, I have seen different kind of mentees over the years. Some will approach you with a very great zeal, but that is the last time you will see them again, because they will disappear into the thin air, and by the time you are hearing from them, maybe in the next 10 years or 2 years, they are where you left them, because they have not made any progress. Of course, some of them would have even retarded, that is, that they would have gone back from their aspirations. So it's very, very important you identify a mentor, and of course you follow them back to back. You see what they are doing, you observe, you ask questions from them. Just like I used to tell people, I am born so that some people can discover their purpose. So it's your responsibility to engage me so as to be able to become the best version of myself. You are not using me, you are helping me to also fulfill my purpose, because my purpose is to help you to discover your purpose. So if you engage me, and we also have different kind of individuals all across the world who have gone through some things ahead, who are also mentors and life coach to you, that you can select, that you can pick, maybe from the books that you read, maybe from the audios that you listen to. Your spirit connects with them and you see a picture of what you want to become or what you want to have in them. Please do well to approach them. If they are not close by to you, if you can't travel down to meet them, give them a call. Or if you can't do that, you can get their books massively and begin to consume them. The same spirit that they carry will definitely transfer into you, and you'll be having answers. Why I prefer direct one? Because if you have questions, you can ask directly. But if you don't have an interaction with them, you have to read a lot of their books. For example, somebody saying he wants to take him to be his mentor. Now, you have to read almost all his books to get his idea about a lot of things. You have to get his idea about marriage. You have to get his idea about business. You have to get this idea about healing and all that. So thank you so much for joining us today on Get Your Day Started. I believe you had a great time. Tomorrow we'll continue in this series of capacity development, so please get set for a great time. My name is Kola Wole Idowu. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and God bless you.